The following is incredibly delicious. Your taste buds have been advised. This week, it's Surf and Turf with Roy Woods. From the heart where flavor is forged, the man, the myth, the legend returns with another jaw-dropping recipe. Ladies and gentlemen, all those gathered, now we feast. And now your host, Big Mike the Chef2K.
What's up, boys? Oh, yeah, look, he's got the cowboy hat on and everything. All right, we're gonna feed you guys. We got some beautiful steak.
Today on 2K Kitchen, we welcome none other than OVO's own hit machine, Roy Woods. From the beautiful city of Toronto comes a young man with melodies, ideas, and an aura as vibrant as Dennis Rodman's hair in the 90s. Tonight, it's Surf and Turf with a certified legend.
Roy Woods, Canada, baby. Here we go. One of its finest right here.
Thank you. I have a dream setup right here, B. This is amazing. I need this right here. When I get my you got everything. This is amazing. The ultimate man cave right now. Literally, bro.
Is this your first time in Calgary?
No. I've been coming here for 10 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you popped in a lot. Shit.
I'm a little experienced. You know?
So you know what we got here, but we'll talk about this. So this is, and I've traveled the world. I've had some of the best cuts. We did an episode probably about a year ago where I actually flew in an A5 tenderloin, the whole cut from the spa ranches in Kagoshima, Japan, which was A5 Kobe. Cut it up, we ate it. It was amazing, I'm not gonna lie. But this right here is what I consider the finest beef in the world, and it comes from literally 25 minutes down the road.
We're here to work the land, lend a hand, and spread the good word. From the Book of Wagyu, Brant Lake. This ain't a kitchen, this is church. Pull up, grab a plate, and get blessed.
Stampede always brings out at least a couple crazy
You
stories.
didn't see much. Honestly, it was calm. It was pretty calm.
Calgary, this
It was
is
calm.
disappointing. Come
Am I
on.
supposed to see something fucked up for real? What area? This is more like.
This is the country. So me and Freddie, we go back since we were 13 or 14 years old. And we grew up in a little small town called Okotoks. I'm kind of in between Calgary and Okotoks here. This area just kind of means a lot.
Yeah. This is home. That's beautiful.
Yeah, man, so.
Yeah.
What kind of wings you guys like?
You know what surprised me? Because I like all type
You
of
like
wings.
hot wings? Do you like?
I like hot wings.
Like, do you like Valentina? This is one of my favorites to put on wings.
Hey, put me on.
Yeah?
Put me on. I don't know that. Let me see this right here. It's hot. Is it like a light hot? Can I make a homemade chili sauce?
Oh.
Yeah.
Sweet chili or just chili?
Sweet chili, but sweet chili. Yeah, I make a nice homemade sweet chili sauce.
I can honestly say I don't make that. How did life change when you became a father, and especially a father to a daughter, which that was my first child as well, and I know it really settled me, man. Like, you know, life changed really fast, but in a positive way that I just wouldn't change for the world.
Yeah, I agree. You said it right there. Like, my daughter, that's the best kid a dad could ask for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She is so expressive. She just wants to learn, be herself, show that she can do stuff, you know? And I love that about her. And I just want to just hone her into the best her that she can be. And just guide her. You know, I don't want to fear the shit for her.
No.
I just need to guide her and help her.
They gotta make their own mistakes.
Yeah.
They gotta fall down. We also gotta be there to pick them up.
Exactly.
Today, as an appy, Roy Woods gets Mike's legendary wings, marinated to perfection and baptized in Valentina Extra Hot. Certified spice lover or not, these wings hit like Will Smith at the Oscars.
Bon appetit. Oh, you official, my guy. You official.
I like to marinate them for a night at least in some soy sauce. Add a little bit of chili oil. Just a little bit of chili oil. Mix it up and let that sit. So once you fry that soy sauce that's in there almost gives it that smoky taste. You know what I mean?
It got a kick. You know what I'm saying, my boy? You're the guy, so. Yo, this ranch is crazy. The dough is like hitting right now. So good. Oh my goodness.
That's that Alberta grown dill right there.
I can taste the freshness. It's so good.
So
I'm loving it, man.
Using fresh herbs
God.
elevates anything.
That's one thing I started doing. COVID was gardening. It was amazing. I'm trying to get my garden back again.
When you grow it
beautiful.
yourself, did you not take so much more pride in the kitchen when you were using it?
So much. it's so much more love. You know, it's like your kid, it's like your music, it's like your, you know what I'm saying? It's like all that from the beginning, and you're taking care of that, you're nurturing that, all that love, bro. And then you. So I wasn't young when I first started. I said I wanted to make music about 15, 16. I started recording myself. And then I left Brampton, where I was from, to go to Toronto when I was 18. And that's when everything really got started for me. You know, I was just bouncing around couches. I was dropping a lot of music.
Were you the first OVO artist or just the first that Drake signed?
No, I'm the third. Oliver hit me up.
Okay.
And wanted me to send him music. It was just through Instagram, man. Everything happened to me, dude.
Social media.
On social media, yeah.
But obviously he knew you were a Toronto artist that was coming up, right? Obviously your name got to him somehow.
Yeah, I was dropping music throughout the city, and it was making a lot. I was getting a lot of noise. I was making, right?
Nice.
So I came out of nowhere, right, from Brampton to Toronto. So I just got myself in the scene and just started dropping music, and everybody's like, "Whoa, who's this kid?" Because I sounded like Michael Jackson, right? So on SoundCloud. You didn't have to pay to drop any music. You could just put it on there, and there was a huge community of a lot of underground artists, and that's where that whole era came from.
It's just so saturated. I know that a lot of amateur artists and stuff would get their stuff out on it. There's not a community of people that are looking for that amateur artist, really. You know what I mean?
It's not like how it was with SoundCloud. SoundCloud was literally that, right? You're looking for underground. There's no mainstream music that you're finding there, really. Right? It was really like, you can find it, but it's not the main thing.
That's not what people
are
on
making
it for.
No, they're hunting for the underground music. That's why I named my crew I'm Not the Underground, because I come from that, right? So I want to keep shining light upon that to help other artists.
For sure.
You know, right? But that's really, that was the era of just, finding music, and I don't think there's gonna be another time like that, to be honest.
Okay, first thing we're gonna do is get the fries in for the first fry. Let's talk about the fries. My French fries have a process. Anyone that gives you a good French fry that stays crispy, like I know when you get it right out of the fryer, you get to the table, you start eating it, it's gonna be crispy. 6 minutes later, they start going limp. There's a way to counteract that. So how I do my fries, we use russet potatoes, I cut them by hand, and then I boil them, water and vinegar. I put them in the water cold. Once the water hits a boil, I give it 10 minutes, take it off of that, and then cool them, shock them cold there. We got the fryer set at about 360. We're gonna give them about 8 or 9 minutes. They're gonna look almost done to you. And you can grab one and it would be done at instant. Then we're gonna set them aside, 20 minutes. Then we're giving them the last fry. It's about a 4 or 5 minute fry. That's gonna ensure that crisp never leaves that.
You fry it like twice?
Double fry.
You about to do good and pop it. Yeah, I'm definitely, when I'm building my man cave is having that. I need that.
Having a deep fryer makes your life very easy. You don't want to eat out of it every day, but
no.
I can tell and listening to your music, and obviously you dig in and make the heart bleed and write songs.
Yeah, the personal raw feelings, and that's because of my my mentors as well. Drake and Party, they made me feel like, I'm not crazy for being a dude feeling like this. Don't be scared to feel who you are.
Appreciate
that raw shit. Real, very real.
We got our lobster, let's see. So I'm taking these bitches out.
Almost forgot lobster. Oh my God.
Black garlic butter, and then salt and pepper, that's it. We're gonna roast these in this oven, man. They're gonna come out beautiful. So, first thing we're gonna do here.
Been a while since we did this segment.
Just gonna get a nice wash on those hands.
Think of it like the honor system. We trusted you to do it.
We're gonna take the jewelry off the fingers.
He understands life.
I'm starting to understand it better every day, I swear to you. Unfortunately. This is a first on the Chef2K's kitchen. If you had a $1 million budget to throw a block party, what food are you gonna serve, and who's gonna headline that shit?
I love a block party.
Everyone loves a block party.
Oh man, first, I'm gonna get all Caribbean cuisine. You gotta have everything though. You gotta have, the jerk chicken, the oxtail, the curry goat. You gotta have it all, baby.
He's doing the spread.
You gotta have it all. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have the Guyanese Chinese fried rice.
Oh,
you need that. You know what I would have? I would bring some dance hall artists.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I'll bring some dance hall artists. Perform in the streets.
Yeah.
Ton of top. Mud thing. That's how mud the thing's gonna be, right?
Quick question, what steaks do you want here? An all Brant Lake Wagyu. It's tenderloin's the leanest cut on the beef. It's tender, but it's lean. You never see grains. through a tenderloin, and that's how you can tell this is Wagyu beef, because even in the tenderloin, we're getting that buttery fat. Do you know what a Béarnaise sauce is?
I've heard of it, yes. Explain it to me.
Have you ever had Eggs Benedict?
Yes.
Okay, so Hollandaise sauce and Béarnaise sauce are pretty much the exact same thing. The only difference is you'll use white wine vinegar instead of lemon juice, and you'll add a little bit of tarragon into that. Okay. Goes absolutely phenomenal with filet and lobster. I'm not gonna lie. So we're gonna do lobster, steak, and truffle fries.
Let's get it.
Bam.
Oh, a dream collab. Ooh. You know what? I've always wanted to work with a lot of R&B goats.
Yeah.
One artist that I've always wanted to work with, like in the country world, Tim McGraw.
Shut up. Tim McGraw, if you're seeing this shit, you better get a hold of my man Roy, all right?
Yeah, let's cook this shit right.
Okay, we're gonna season up all that steak. We're gonna cook it all. When it comes to a steak, especially a high-end steak, there's only two things that should touch that, and that is salt and pepper. That is it. Salt is naturally meant to bring out the actual flavor of the item, you know? Not so much mask it as like, you know, all these other seasonings that you buy in the store, you know, steak seasonings and shit. We want this to snow down so it's not clumping. We don't want it everywhere. We want it everywhere, not pooled up in just certain spots.
Generously seasoned with sea salt. Enough so you can see it from space.
A lot of people see this, and that's so much salt. It's like, trust me, that is how a steak is seasoned. When you eat it in a restaurant, and you like it and you enjoy it, this is how it is seasoned. Pow!
Hopefully you like steak with your salt. Next, hit it with ground peppercorn. Generous, of course. Now flip and do it again like Steely Dan. And just like that, it's ready to cook.
All right, we're getting close to throwing on the steak. Lobster will probably go in right around the same tizzle. My combination that I use when I'm searing a steak is beef tallow. We are lucky enough to have the best beef tallow from my main man Brandon down at Brant Lake Wagyu. And then we got, this is a Calgary product too. This is ghee.
I know ghee.
So yeah, this is caramelized ghee. So it actually has a bit of a bit of a nutty flavor to it, but it really goes to a high temperature. Cast iron pan is always your best bet as far as I'm concerned for a great steak.
I only just started eating steaks 3 years ago, like the first time ever. Fell in love.
If you didn't find this love for music, what do you think you would have been doing?
And there's a couple things, you know. I was heavily in football, culinary. That was one. I also wanted to go to school for psychology. That was one thing. So I could have done either or.
Your love to maybe follow that path kind of almost comes out in your lyrics, you know what I mean?
It does.
Okay, we get these lobster tails in there. Pow.
Come on.
So I always preheat that cast iron pan. You want that heat to be all throughout the pan so that when we throw the steak or whatever we're doing in it, and it doesn't start to cool it off right away, right? We want that effect to stay so we get that nice deep sear. How do you like your steak, my man?
I like it medium rare.
This in there?
Yeah, medium rare.
Medium rare, okay. I recommend medium rare to medium when you're doing Wagyu, just so it gives the steak enough time for the fat to render inside the steak so you get that buttery flavor.
I don't like it well done. It's just too chewy for me. I'm not trying to do all that.
So they're all about the same thickness. Pow. Give it a nice press, because that just makes it flat, so we get a consistent sear on it. Wham.
Dang.
Are we gonna be able to do?
Ooh, I can smell it.
All right, we're gonna do one fillet to start and 2 ribeyes. So we've got that down. It's gonna need about 2.5 minutes.
Ah yes, that sweet symphony. Wagyu sizzling in cast iron. Somewhere, a cardiologist just shed a tear.
Give it a sec. We're getting there.
Beyond me. Damn, I never seen that one.
Okay.
Ooh, I can smell it too.
We got that
And suddenly, the vision begins to form.
There's a song called Like You on there.
I've heard that.
Yeah, that one I feel like that's one of the rawest, most vulnerable songs I've ever made in a very long time.
Really?
Right? Yeah, I just let everything out, you know? It's been a while, a long time since I really had that feeling. I usually hear the beat, or sometimes we make the beat. That's how I've been doing it lately.
Yeah.
Me and my producer will just have the loop.
Yeah.
We'll start up with the loop, and then I'll on my melodies, he'll work around it because he knows what I like. I'm already forming the song in my head, and then I'm going and trying out ideas in the booth.
Yeah.
I see what I like, and then I write for that.
Yeah.
And then I formulate all my ideas. I just riff out a lot of melodies, and just some songs I don't know what I'm writing about, I'm just writing. I'm not thinking about a specific situation. I'm really more thinking about a specific feeling. Hear how the song should be, and then just write to it out.
Yeah. Double fry has begun. I'm not gonna overcrowd it. We're gonna do 2 batches.
I was just looking at
You can see the crisp already on them, bro. Yeah, we're killing it, bro. Okay, so.
Yeah, we are. I gotta
little trick, we're gonna take a little truffle oil. Oh, we're gonna just go, don't put it directly on. We're gonna just go around the bowl. Then we're gonna hit it with this, my truffle salt.
Okay, I see it. Okay.
And then there's a little bit of truffle dust.
Triple truffle?
Pow. Is that good? Is there truffle on it? I can't tell you.
What about truffle on there? You got truffle on there? Want some more?
Let's get more.
Right there.
Well, we're missing parm. Oh, yo. And this is what you want too. You want that cheap craft parm falling apart. Okay, see that? Boom. What is your favorite thing to eat when you're on the road?
It used to be burgers.
I feel
Quick
that
burgers.
shit. I feel that shit.
I've been so much more picky about what I'm eating lately, so now I'm a rice guy.
Yeah.
I like my rice in any protein. As long as I can get a little rice, get some protein, get some veg, so I'm good. I'm a simple guy now.
Hey, and that simple dish can be made in many different ways. What's your favorite thing to eat in the studio?
Ooh, it's bad, and I get it every time.
Let's hear it.
Make chicken with extra mayonnaise. I don't eat fries, okay? I don't. But I only eat the burger. I either make chicken with extra mayonnaise, an egg McMuffin, a sausage and an egg McMuffin with extra butter, and that's it. I need my extra butter. You know,
there
it
you
just
go.
drips on it, and it's nice. The flavor's nice, but it's not enough butter.
So your routine in the studio, I take it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
well, depending where I'm around, but for the most part, yeah, that's what I get.
You see, he's talking to you guys about breakfast and a lunch or dinner item, which means that Roy works hard. It's not all about shows, clubs, and hoes, okay?
man.
This sauce is hard. It's very finicky. If you add the butter too fast, it's gonna split. If you heat it up too much, it's gonna split. So we wanna get a nice foam on it. We're letting it get a bit of warmth here, not too much. So we just need to go thin streams, mixing the whole time.
Okay, it's like making a roux with it.
Yeah.
A little bit. I'm bad at it.
It's just very, very finicky, bro. Just go low heat, bro. The whisking is very hard to do consistently like this, but
Yeah, because it hurts, man.
it's the only muscle I have, okay, bro? I want to know your 5 top spots to eat in Toronto.
Toronto. There's one spot that I like, I get mac and cheese at, Bobby Sue's.
Bobby Sue's.
Yeah, it's not a restaurant, you gotta stand out and get it, but it is.
That doesn't matter. That is still a
it's there,
restaurant. That is still an
yeah.
eatery in my mind.
So then you're
Bobby
a food guy.
Sue's, we're coming to you.
Yeah,
Okay.
Bobby Sue's.
Number
Fire.
2.
Number 2, the Bay of Managua. It's a
Okay.
Nicaraguan spot.
Okay.
Everything is fire. We get a fried fish there.
Like whole fish, walk
Yes,
fry.
whole snapper. Number 3, shout out my boy T-Rex. This is his spot, Miss Licklemore's. It's a Jamaican spot. It's a
Okay.
Jamaican cuisine spot. Everything's fire, but they got these oxtail patties. It's so good because they got the Scotch bonnet sauce with it. So
We're gonna visit
I love
that
it.
place.
I love it.
We
I
know
love it.
that.
I love it. So number 4 is my boy's spot, Piñata Tacos. With the birria tacos there, smacking.
I'm in love with that shit right
Smacking.
now.
And the fifth spot really should be the first spot. But it should always be your mama's pot.
Mama's pot?
Mama's pot. Yeah, mama's pot. You know, your mom's pot.
So what? Just
My mom
like,
is my number 1 chef.
Yeah?
Yeah, she
Oh, I get it.
Yeah, she is the best cook. She always throws it down. Cooking over here, boy.
What we got here for you, bro, is what I like to call the King's Platter. All right, Roy's getting the
My
special
God.
treatment, guys. Here we go.
Jeez Louise.
We're gonna give Roy that Wagyu ribeye, that Wagyu tenderloin. Take that, motherfucker, and we're gonna put it like that, bro.
so glad I skipped breakfast.
Then we're
this
gonna
morning.
do this, bro. There we go. And then we're gonna fill the gap with those beautiful truffle parmesan French fries.
Let's get it, dog.
Here we go. Here we go.
Ooh. Splash.
Give me a little on that ribeye.
Oh my my days.
The Roy Woods King Platter right here. We've got Alberta's finest on the plate, Brant Lake Wagyu.
Mean. My brother.
Please.
Thank you. Oh my days. Bon appetit.
Yeah. Buttery
My boy.
is beautiful, hey? Oh, see? And he hasn't even gotten to the lobster yet, so here we go. That Atlantic lobster tail.
Yeah. Oh, this is a great thing. Dog is feeding. No, you killing it. This is great. You took me to a 5-star restaurant.
There you go.
Right now, right here. Oh my goodness, you're darn right.
And another one. Best believe when we cook to thrill.
So that's Alberta's finest beef, bro. I'm telling you, I really, really honestly feel like that's some of the best beef in the world. Brant Lake Wagyu. Thank you, Brandon. I'm not just pitching these guys for any other reason other than that meat is amazing, period. That's it.
Yeah, man.
Good food, good people, nourishing to the soul and beneficial for our algorithm. We hope Roy enjoyed his time in the kitchen as much as we enjoyed having him. Friendship can grow from the smallest gestures, and his presence is larger than life.
I want to leave that impact for the youth that, you know, that feel like me, you know, which is a lot, which is lost, you know, that felt like that kid. I want to leave an impact on, you know, all those kids. Doesn't matter where you're from, who you are. I just want to be a stepping stone for them. You know, I'm not a perfect person. Gotta learn from my mistakes.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Keep making
Best
mistakes.
teacher in life, bro.
Yeah, it's
Your last
mistakes.
mistake.
I try to be the best artist. I try to be the best son. I try to be the best everything.
Father.
Dad, everything that I can be.
Father.
You know what I'm saying?
Father.
I'm the best
Unbelievable.
everything.
Make sure to check out Roy Wood's new project, Dark Nights. Then head to chef2k.com for all of today's recipes. Until next time, stay saucy.
The real one right here. You know, we just get to chop it up, chop that real shit. You know, just, you know, get to feel each other.
People together,
Yeah, man.
right?
Yeah, bro.
You know what I mean?
Are we missing that a lot right now?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We appreciate you, bro.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much for having me.